Welcome to Near Falls with D. Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D. Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. We're talking Near Falls with D. Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast. Today, so excited. This is the best time of year. My favorite project of the year, the 24-25 WPIAL Coaches Preview. So excited to bring this to you guys. I have a bunch of different coaches coming on from across the WPIAL. They're going to come on, talk about their schedule, expectations, up-and-comers, their leaders, their seniors, all that type of stuff. You guys know the drill. This is year 3 or 4 of me doing it. So pumped up to bring it to you guys. I really hope you enjoy it, and just hope you enjoy listening to these guys talk like I did. It was always a blast for me, and this year was no different. So without further ado, welcome in to the WPIAL Coaches Preview.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where D.R. and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinity, WPIAL, yeah, Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
All right, joining me now on the call, we have coach of Belle, Vernon area school district, Mr. Bob. Bob, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Doing really good, really good. I'm pumped up to have you on, of course. Man, I got to get it right out of the way. This has been many years in the making. I've heard about you for many years. You have had one of my good buddies, Mr. Jeff McDonald. He was one of your former wrestlers.
Right.
Very, very good stuff. Talk to me about Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff was someone who came into wrestling a little bit late, but just a really hard worker and turned himself into a solid wrestler. And I think he was someone, even though he only wrestled for a few years, I think he grew to love it in just that short period of time. And he's still around. And when I see him, we chat for a while and usually talk mostly wrestling.
Man, that's my guy for sure. And he's definitely, he's one of those tough, hard-nosed dudes. And, every time I'm around him, I, just got that vibe of being around a wrestler, which is good stuff.
Right, for sure.
Okay, so talk to me about Belle Vernon, man. That Jeff was over at Ringgold. You're at Belle Vernon. Talk to me about, being over there. You guys have some absolute monsters. Talk to me about the off-season program and, what it's like being over there at Belle Vernon.
Yeah, we're pretty excited for this year. We're pretty young. We only have 2 seniors, Cole Doppelhauer, who was a state qualifier last year and a multiple time WPIAL place winner. And we actually have a transfer student from Connecticut who was a Connecticut state champion and a New England third, Dayton Soda. So we're pretty excited about him. He's looking pretty good in the room so far. Of course, we probably have one of the better junior wrestlers in the entire country, and Elijah Brown, who won a 16. Who won a 16U Fargo national title over the summer. So we were pretty excited about that. And the rest of our guys, we have I think 10 sophomores and 6 freshmen that'll be up this year. We had a pretty talented junior high team last year, and we kept a lot of the 9th graders down last year. So a lot of those guys are coming up. We lost a couple that didn't really want to wrestle anymore that were talented. So that part's unfortunate, but we still have a pretty good crop of really young, talented wrestlers.
Talk to me about those talented wrestlers some more. Give me a name, maybe a sophomore or a freshman that, we might look up and say, there's a BVA guy that, is wrestling for a state place.
I'd say probably the most decorated in his time through youth and junior highs, Connor Hoffman. His older brother, Logan, wrestled for us and was a state place winner for us a few years back. His middle brother, Austin, just had a really good year for us last year, graduated last year and won 33 matches and was at
the say Hoffman, not a bad name over there.
Right. So we're pretty excited to get him up. And Maddox Ciccarelli, he was a state place winner for us in junior high last year. He's up. Uh, that's probably the two biggest one. But Grayson Guglielmo, he'll be 107. Cole's younger brother Riley Doppelhauer. Those guys are multiple JO state qualifiers. So Vander Rokowski, he's been a state qualifier. So there's a lot of talented kids there. Skylar Gush, who's a state qualifier in junior high. So just trying to see how they transition over to high school, and excited about the guys we brought back. We had a real tough freshman last year, Colby Hibner, who won 20 matches at a tough weight last year, 139. So we're excited to have him back. So we don't have a lot of guys back, but the ones we have back are three really tough kids. And then, hopefully these new guys who have a good junior high pedigree and a good youth pedigree, hopefully that transfers into a good high school pedigree as well.
Talk to me about room games. What do you guys play over there? You dodgeball, kickball, you let them play games?
We do. Yeah, we usually start, practice. Since we don't practice right after school, we start at 4:00. So we have kids coming in at different times. So some kids are usually a little bit early, and they'll start the day off just usually with some dodgeball. Seems to be the game that they love to play the most. Sometimes they want to play a little too long, but we have some various games too. We'll play some mat ball, kind of like a variation of baseball with a volleyball, and we play in the room sometimes. And just some other wrestling games, like people call them different names. Sometimes we call them Penn State versus Ohio State. We were dragging one side of the team to the other. The old Dragon Tails, remember that from youth? We do that every once in a while too. So just something to break up the monotony of just wrestling all day, every day.
Yeah, no doubt. It tends to be a grind at times, and I always find it interesting to see how people break it up. Okay, talk to me about the schedule. How do you guys build it? You have, it seems like you have a pretty wide array of kids from, beginning level all the way up to, some of the best guys in the country. How do you build, not only the team, but the individual aspect of your schedule?
Yeah, I think it's tricky for sure. Just want to try to get a kind of enough of a variation between, getting your skilled guys enough quality competition, but you don't want to go to, especially early season tournaments. We want some challenges, but we don't want our young kids to be overwhelmed. That's why we start with the North Coast Classic in Ohio, which is it's a great beginning tournament because it's a pool tournament that leads into a bracketed tournament. So most kids are wrestling 7 or 8 times, and regardless of what their record is, and the way they break it down is if you go in your pool first, if you're undefeated in your pool, you're in with other kids who are undefeated. So you're going to get some tough matches as the tournament goes on. If you're someone who's maybe a little overwhelmed in your pool and you're 0-4, 1-3, you're going to be with other kids who are 0-4, 1-3 once you get into the bracket. So it's just a really nice beginning tournament. Mixture of your tough guys get some good matches, your new guys get accustomed to high school wrestling, and we've been going to it probably for about 6 or 7 years now. I went to it when I was at Ringgold as well. Used to be more PA teams that go there. I think it's only us and Ringgold, and I think maybe Southmoreland was there last year. I can't remember. I know they used to go, but it's a nice beginning tournament. Then we just try to, county tournaments always a nice little pickup. We've been going to Trojan War in Chambersburg, and it's a really tough tournament. Guys want to get back into Powerade, but I'm like, we haven't won a title at Trojan War yet. So, but it's a really tough tournament, and I like it because our junior high goes too. So your whole junior high and varsity program goes together. It's a pretty good bonding moment for us. And then we picked up the Pine Richland Duels. This year, we were just trying to maybe get a few matchups that we might see.
Man, a lot of people are picking up that Pine Richland Duels. I mean, that's gonna be nice at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a pretty solid team, and by then, hopefully, those young guys are clicking. And we haven't been able to fill a full lineup for a while now, and we should be pretty close. We're not going to probably have a heavyweight this year. We have one, but he's new and he's injured, so we'll see. But we should be pretty full, and it's been a while since we could say that. So,
yeah, for sure. Okay, talk to me about coaching staff. Who's helping you out this year?
AJ Sales, who's been with us for a while. He's a Belle Vernon graduate. He wrestled at Gannon. He was a couple-time national qualifier at Gannon, and he coached at Gannon for a while before he came back home. Todd Miller, who actually wrestled for me at Ringgold and was a state place winner for us, and he spent some time in college wrestling. And Chris Ciccarelli, who actually was our junior high coach the past couple years, he's volunteering this year. He moved up. He wanted to be up with his son, which totally understandable. So we moved him up. Tim Ayersman, who was our junior high coach, youth coach for a really long time, moved up to junior high, back down to youth. He's back up coaching our junior high. And we have a couple, really good guys that wrestle for us. Nico Kuntz, who was a section champ. He's been coaching with us for a few years. And Billy Korber, who was a state place winner for us a few years back. He's helping out this year too in the junior high room.
Both part of that, what was it, 14 or 15 BVA team that was really, really good?
Yeah, they were on that. They were both on the good string of BVA teams, and they were both there. The first Billy was a senior my first year over helping with Coach Doppelauer, so he took fourth in the state that year. So we're happy to have him helping. And like I said, Nico's been helping out for a couple years now. They do good. They do a real good job.
Love that. Okay. Give me some goals and expectations you have for this team.
Yeah, I think team-wise, just be nice having a full lineup again, and just we want to make it back to the playoffs. We haven't been in the team playoffs in a few years, just because we were struggling with numbers. So now that we have numbers back, we fully expect to be back in the team playoffs. And how far we go, again, depends on how fast our young guys develop. I think it's okay to be young, especially when they're young and good. We just how far we go will kind of be on how far they come along by the end of the year. I think individual goals. I think for Cole and Elijah, their goals should be very high. I think they are very high. I think they both want to be high up on the state podium. They both want to have a chance to be state champions. And I think that's our goal for individuals, and to take some of those young guys with them and, take them as far on the journey to states as we can. Hopefully we get a couple young state qualifiers. But if not, we'll take them as far as we can on hopefully a individual journey for some team hardware at Hershey. We had a really long streak. We had a streak of about 13 years straight of bringing home an individual medal from Hershey, and we're on a 2-year drought, so we want to break that drought. But we have some other things, like we've had a WPIAL finalist for every year for like the last 15 years. So we want to keep that going. So there's some like little goals that we want to, some like little streaks, I guess we call them, that we want to keep going, and a streak that was ended a couple years back that we want to restart, bring home some Hershey hardware.
Heck yeah, man. How about start with a Hershey hardware gold and just keep that one going? That's a pretty good one, huh?
Yeah. That's always our main goal is to get to Hershey, and the good news is coming out of the WPIAL, we know if you get out of there, you got a great shot of coming home with a medal from Hershey. No offense to the rest of the state, but we all know where the best wrestling is.
Blessing and a curse, my friend. Blessing and a curse. My friend, I love that. Social medias, how can we follow your squad this year?
Yeah, like I told you on the phone, I'm not very good with tech stuff, but we do have, I guess it's called X now. It's not Twitter anymore, right?
There you go. Look at you. You say you're not very good. You're efficient with the up-to-date terms.
It's at Belle Leopards, and Belle is capitalized and Leopards is capitalized. So at Belle Leopards is our X handle, I guess is what they call it now. But that's the only team social media that we have right now. So.
Good stuff. Okay. Anything or anyone you want to shout out before I leave you go?
No, we just a couple guys that are still doing some stuff in college. We always want to see them do well. We got Logan Hoffman, who's a starter at UNC Pembroke. Perry Riggle was our heavyweight last year. He's down there as well. And then Scotty Joel, who was an All-American for them last year. He's actually on the coaching staff there. So we just want to wish UNC Pembroke lots of luck this year, especially our guys.
Love that, my friend. Anything else?
No, I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I always love to talk wrestling. So anytime you need someone to fill up some airspace.
Oh man, that's a big promise, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I love that, and thank you so much for coming on. And as always, as someone that knows old Jeffy boy, I'm glad to have you on and talk some wrestling. So
yeah, love it.
Yeah, and I think that BVA is right there on the come up, and you guys are going to be a big program here.
Yeah.
If not this year, I mean, honestly, this year probably. So
yeah, I think things are looking up for us again. We have really good numbers. We have about 26 kids in the junior high program. We have almost 100 in the youth program. So yeah, we're it's a little crowded over there at the Plex, but we like crowded.
it's a good problem, right?
Right, for sure.
Yeah, man. All right. I appreciate you, Coach Bove, and I'll see you very soon.
All right, thanks for having me. We'll see you.